Thanks for joining us for our Tuesday press conference on Saturday and taking a little bit of time from some of the other games you may be seeing. Head coach Charles Kelly joining us. Coach, probably what everybody's itching to ask, walk us through that last 58 seconds or whatever it was in Houston.
Well, let me back up just a second before I do that. First of all, I got to thank y'all for being in here. All right, you all love ball. We always talk about loving ball. I mean, now let's just be honest. We all grew up in the South, right? Alabama and Missouri's playing an SEC game right now. They've been 30 minutes in the game, and y'all are here covering the Gamecocks, and we appreciate that. And I know our players appreciate that. The last drive, I mean, our players will tell you, first of all, we talk about all the time. Our coaches do a good job. We talked this week, we had to have disciplined execution. And that last drive was an example of disciplined execution. We didn't have a penalty on the drive. All the plays weren't perfect. There was a lot of strategy that went in, but that wasn't the first time we've done that. We do a 2-minute drill, and we don't do it against the scout team. Every Thursday, we go ones versus ones, twos versus twos, almost the exact same situation. And sometimes the offense is one, sometimes the defense is one. But we do that. We, even on our Friday walkthrough, we walk through the same play that we ran with 5 seconds left. Now, this is never about me or not about one player. It is a team deal. We had, when we called timeout, we made the play down the field. I've seen Ripa hit field goals and our players have seen him hit it. We felt like we could hit the field goal from where we're at. But I'll have to, give Clint Trickett and the offensive coaches, they were like, hey, Coach, we can get this ball right here 5 more yards. And I'm like, all right, we got 5 seconds to do this. And Caden said, we got it, Coach. We got it. And, you got to have confidence in your coaches and confidence in the players. And I think we learned a little bit from that play, too, that we'll carry on. I won't go into that, but we talked about it last night, that there's some other things. But we knew what we had to do. We got it to the, 5 more yards. And I think Maxwell Thurman did a good job. He made an adjustment on the field goal protection from earlier in the game. And that adjustment actually gave us a chance to make the kick, and then Ripa executed. So it was all the players, that executed on that drive, and it's a team effort, and I think we learned a lot about ourselves as a team by that situation, and you don't want it to come down to that, but when you play in conference games, whether you watch the NFL, whether you watch Conference USA, whether you're coaching in the SEC, when you're in conference play, it is going to be competitive. And most of your games come down to how you play on third down, how you play in the red area, and how you play in 2-minute situations. In the NFL, that's what they start off with in training camp. A lot of teams start off with practicing in the red zone in 2 minutes because so many games come down to that. And, I'm just proud of our players for executing it.
Big-time matchup coming up on Wednesday against Delaware on a primetime national network. Give us an idea on what you're expecting coming up on Wednesday.
Well, first of all, we're playing a team that has great tradition in college football. One of the, first teams I can remember getting into coaching, one of the first teams that I went and visited with as a coach at a clinic was at the University of Delaware. And the tradition that they've had over the years, they play very good football. They're very sound in what they do. I did not know Ryan Carty until, this past spring. I met him at the conference coaches meetings, and he was about as impressive as anybody I've ever met for the first time. You could tell first of all, he's a good guy, but you could tell he's a very good coach. He knows what he wants to do, and his team plays like that. They've been very good on both sides of the ball. Offensively, they give you a lot of different formations, make you adjust to a lot of things. They execute very well. The quarterback plays very well. He's very efficient. They have a good run game. They're very good on the offensive line. They probably have the best tight ends that we've seen this year. They can do a lot with those guys too. Defensively, they're a 3-3-5 defense. They make you execute. You have to execute, and you have to be sound in what you do. But again, we have a lot of respect for them, their program, their coaches. I think Conference USA hit a home run when they got Delaware to be in this conference. I mean, it's just amazing what this conference and the administration and our commissioner does on those things of being able to get teams like this coming in the conference. I think that was a home run for us, and we're excited. I'm excited for our players. I'm excited for our staff to be able to play the game.
All right, let's open it up. Go Max, Mark, and Joe.
Just passing him at the end of on that foul drive, just what did you see from it, and how do you maybe take the momentum of the success there, knowing that maybe it was the first time you kind of saw the passing game be able to lead this team to a win over just relying on the rushing game?
Well, I can tell you this. There are a lot of teams out there that are trying to throw it down the field that can't run the ball, and when they can't run the ball, they get the quarterback sacked too many times, and when you do that, you're not going to win the game. So we try to look at the run game first. Now, you're right. We've got to be able to create more things downfield, but I ask the players and I ask the coaches to take what they give us. If they're going to give us an opportunity to rush for 300 yards or 300, we're going to take that. Now, when people start creeping up in the box, what I thought that we did a good job of, they were playing for the pass in those situations, and we executed it, But we do have to improve, being able to get the ball downfield. We know that, and we've done it at times. We just got to be more consistent with it. I think there's things that we learn about. We're going to play more receivers. We got to get more people involved in the game and in the game plan, so they can't set on certain guys. But I do think that was an advantage. I think probably for the offense is more confidence that we can do it because we can protect, and when the protection does break down and people play man to man, we have quarterbacks that are athletic enough to make people pay for it.
Two things about that last drive. Garrison seems to really thrive just in the moment. And also, could you talk about the composure that Caden showed?
Well, I think I said one thing to Caden during the game, the whole game. And it wasn't after the fumble. I didn't immediately go up to him. It was later on in the game, and I said, just be you, take care of the football. And he was trying to make a play, which I want him to do that. I want all of our quarterbacks to do that. I think they will tell you as many times as you get put in those situations, you go back to your training. When pressure hits, you go back to how you train. And I think he did a good job of that. And I asked him before the game, just trust your coaching. Trust your coaching. Trust what you see. Use your eyes. Let your eyes tell your body what to do. This is a reaction game, and I think the quarterback gets all the more credit. All right, when things go good, and they get more blame when things go bad. It's never as good as it seems. It's never as bad as it seems. I'm sure there are a lot of corrections in the game that he said, "Well, I wish I'd have done different." A lot of things, He said, "Boy, I'll do this even better next time." And same thing defensively, for our players. Ripa, I've said this before because you and I have talked about it. In fact, you PG'd it when I told you how I talked to him that one time. I didn't say but to him. I get on his rear end. But Ripa, the players, they know the specialists get coached just like everybody else on the team. And I think you're right. He likes that pressure, but we try to put the pressure on him. We we did that this week. Y'all can tell me, what was it? It was 55 on Thursday. So we put it 55 yards. It was 2-minute situation. We put it 55 yards, and he kicks it, and, you know, just comes up a little bit short. And the team's like, move it up. And I said, move it back. We moved it back to 56. Boom. He nailed it. I mean, every one of them went crazy. So that's why I said everybody on the sideline had confidence in him. But now he ain't no different than the quarterback or the linebacker. If he doesn't execute the way he's supposed to and go through the proper steps, he ain't going to get the results that he wants. So we try to coach from a process. Do what you got to do to get the results.
What improvement did Caden show in his first start?
I think first of all, I think just the composure with everybody else in the huddle. You know, everybody taking everybody. Now he's not coming in the game. I got to prove that I can do this. It was just like, no, it's not about me. It's not about my stats. It's just about moving the team. Because the two things I'll say about quarterback. Number one, decision making, which I thought he was better at his decision making in this game. And then, can you move the team? It doesn't matter what, you got to be able to move the team. And but I think his decision making probably was that, and his presence in the huddle. I felt like I never felt like we at any point where we were pressing, even after the turnover. It was like, okay, we got to come back and get it. I never felt like we pressed there.
Got time for one more, or if you're good, Mark.
Could you talk about, expand on Caden a little bit more about what it is he does well, how you gauge him as a quarterback?
Well, first of all, he's he's a good student of the game, as all of our quarterbacks are. I watch how they work every day. But he's a very good student of the game, very instinctive. As I mentioned, he makes good decisions. He's got a trait in the pocket of being able to elude the rush. That is a gift when you can buy time in the pocket, because being a secondary coach, I know the more time they got to hold that ball, the more issues you got downfield. When he does create plays, where people are covered, he has the ability to create plays downfield. But I think what people don't realize, he is a very accurate passer. Watching him in practice and watching what he's done, he's very accurate, and he'll work at what he needs to improve on. I mean, I'm pleased with his progress as well as the other quarterbacks, as I said that. We got 3 that aren't playing right now that are working on the scout team, and they hear me praise them every day. I mean, some of the things that they do down there. But I think he's just got to keep focusing on what he's got to do to make himself better. You start with your feet and you work up. It's your feet, it's your hips, it's your hands, it's your eyes. Those things are what make football players at any position.
Malcom, we'll start with you. Now that you've moved into a starting role as that nickel, give us an idea on the confidence and the improvements that you've made in your game during your time here this season.
Yeah, I would say my confidence more so boils off preparation from Coach Williams. I think each week he set out a great game plan. I feel like I just trying to figure out what's my job in that game plan and to execute around that pretty much.
Caden, in your first career start, you get to lead a game-winning drive with 50 seconds left. How neat was that?
It was pretty cool. I wish that it didn't have to come down to that, but I think if we execute a little bit better, it shouldn't have come down to that, but it was pretty cool to get that win in that moment.
All right, let's open it up to questions. Start with Joe, then Max.
Okay, just take us through that drive and some of the moments there where you felt like you had the control of this.
Well, it started before we went out there. I kind of huddled everybody up and told them, there should be no team in the country that's more confident than us in this situation. We practice it every week, and just go out there and do it. Just play all out, do whatever you got to do. And then I think instilling that confidence in the guys kind of helped us be able to perform. Obviously, it didn't really go as planned. There were a couple of things that happened that were pretty abnormal, like throwing the ball, deflecting and catching it, just wasting a lot of time and stuff like that. A lot of things I can learn from, but I'm just glad that we were able to win and get it done and still be able to learn and, just be better.
Thanks.
Just your journey at one point, not even 3 games ago, you're taking punt returns, and now you're the starting quarterback. Just can you take us through the journey from this year's?
Yeah, it's obviously been a different journey than probably any other quarterback in the country. Returning punts, stuff like that, they ask me to do something, I'm never going to shy away. If they think that I'm the best punt returner on the team, then I'm going to go out there and I'm going to catch punts. If they think that I'm the best quarterback, then I'm going to go out there and play quarterback to the best of my ability. It's definitely different, but it's helped me learn a lot. Special teams, everything happens quick, so it allows me to, learn how to play fast, see things, stuff like that. So it's been different, but I like it a lot.
Sorry.
Malcom, you had sacked the other night, right?
Yes, sir.
Your first one?
First one, yes, sir.
So we know what Caden's been through. I mean, for you, what was that excitement?
Yeah, like I said at the beginning, preparation. Coach William believed in me, and he called that play. So just when my number called, just be ready. And I just think at that moment I was ready.
There, Max, and then Mark.
Game. Just when did you kind of find out you were starting, and then can you just evaluate yourself in that first start?
I didn't really truly find out that I was starting. It was just kind of competition all week. Took a lot of ones reps, was able to get those reps under my belt, and kind of handled my reps in practice well, and just kind of they told me. I don't even think they even really told me at a certain point. It was kind of just understood by the way that I executed in practice. But overall, I didn't think that I played all too great. I mean, I did make a couple plays here and there, but there's a lot of things that I got to learn from, a lot of things that I got to do better. Obviously, fumbling on the 1 yard line, you can't do that. Put the defense in a bad spot like that. They bailed us out a couple times, and it's just a lot of stuff to learn from.
Let's go, Mark, and then we'll wrap with Matt.
For both you guys, Coach talked about the Thursday practice where you guys see Garrison Ripa make one from 56. How do you think that maybe change how you guys viewed, he's got one on the line from 52, and I imagine you guys are sitting there saying, well, we've seen him do even farther from in practice. Could you guys talk about that?
I would say, yeah. Well, coaches believed in him. It trickled down from the coaches to the players. So if coaches believe he can do it, then we all knew as a team that he could do it. And obviously, I know he believed in himself. So we practice. Thing that coach says like you practice how you play. So we went out, practice it, then it just led over to the game and called us and win the game.
Yeah, I'd probably say similar thing, just practice, just builds up his confidence when he knows that he can make one from that distance. It's no different than practice, just go out there and execute.
Last one.
Caden, what was your, obviously on the 1 yard line and a devastating fumble.
Yeah.
That's just part of the game. That's a lot that happens. But what was your message to the team afterward, like on that next drive? Like, what was your message saying? Was it, we got to do it again, or we got to go out there? What was it?
It was pretty simple. Just don't panic. Just go out there and move the ball like we did all night. Obviously, we got to be a little bit better in the red zone. A lot of things that I can do different on third down too. We got to stay ahead of the chains, but it was really just don't panic. Just go down there, move the ball, put points on the board.